This is a sculpture of the sun god, Surya, or Mitra as he was originally called. Mitra is one of the oldest and most powerful of the Hindu gods, with the most incredible and mysterious history. For instance, Mithra was the only Hindu god who 3000 years ago travelled out to Europe. The cult of Mithra travelled to Persia, to ancient Rome, to Germany, even to the UK. Did you know you can still see the ruins of a 2000-year-old Mithra temple in the city of London? But what's really interesting is that not only did Mithra travel out to Europe, he stayed out for about 1000 years, and then he travelled back again to India, bringing with him lots of souvenirs from his travels. So his boots, for instance, these come from his time in Persia. Mithra is the only Hindu deity who wears boots. Or his companions, also from his time in Persia. They are unlike any other figures that you will see in traditional Hindu sculpture. Now, everywhere that Mithra went, he became the most important god. He was the sun god who brought light and life. He was the friend god. Mithra is the Hindi word for friend. But he also picked up other titles. So in Persia, he became the god of the accountants. As the sun rose, you opened your account books. As it set, you shut them again. In ancient Rome, he became the god of the soldiers because as the sun god, he was responsible for both starting as well as finishing the day. And as the day ended, battle would come to a halt and the soldiers would get to rest. So he was the god of the soldiers. And this bit is actually very different to the Hindu myth because the Hindus believe that the weapons of the gods are made from the sun's energies. So he is actually the power behind the battle. In India, we actually associate him with the battle itself. But as I said, Mithra was a mysterious god. There's lots of things about him that we still haven't been able to explain. So let's take a closer look at our mystery god. When Mithra returned to India from his travels, his name was changed permanently from Mithra to Surya. We still haven't been able to explain why, but from now we only know him as Surya. He is generally accompanied by two attendants, the record keepers of life. In the older sculptures, the men look like dwarfs dressed as Persian aristocrats. In the post-11th century images, it is the two sons of Surya who stand with him, Yamraj and Shanidev. Between them, they are the ones that keep a record of your good and bad deeds in this life and your duties and your debts for your next life. Now, in some sculptures, Surya is shown with his two wives as well. These are the mothers of his two sons. In this sculpture, the main wife, Sanjana, stands at his feet, and his second wife, Chaya, the goddess of the shadows, sits hidden in a corner. The wives are always really tiny compared to the god, but that was just to enhance his greatness. At Surya's feet, you notice 7 horses. These are the 7 horses who pull his chariot, and sitting on top of them is the tiny little figure of Aruna, his charioteer. Now, these 7 horses are another one of his mysteries, because a chariot is never supposed to be pulled by an uneven number of horses. And why Surya's chariot has 7 horses, no one still knows why. And finally, a good way to recognize him. In his hand, Surya holds the stems of 2 lotus flowers facing forward in full bloom. No other god has lotus flowers like this. These are Surya's very distinctive symbol. But this one we can explain. It is because a lotus only blooms in full sunlight.